Yo.
Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Check the mics.
This bitch is live. And we're a go.
Nigga, why you cocking like that?
Nigga, because I'm trying to see. I gotta do different tests than you. Okay. My vocals operate different than yours. Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome back to another episode of Cinecism. I'm Eric.
It's your boy Dante, man, and today we're going to be doing a review on the New Mutants.
Spoiler-free, mind you.
Spoiler-free review.
Because this one is fairly new.
Yes,
it's been a while since we reviewed a new movie, so. Alright, so New Mutants. Basically about a group of young mutants who are in this facility, this institution led by Dr. Reyes, and they're trying to learn how to control their powers and be less of a danger to not only themselves, but also to humanity. They got some pretty crazy abilities.
It's pretty much like a therapy facility, really, honestly. It seems like they're learning to cope with their powers, but also just maybe teenage angst. But in the midst of that, it's also a lot of just eerie goings on in the facility. It's like everything's not what it seems. The doctor seems sketchy.
Of course.
And not only that, it seems like some supernatural occurrences going on as well. It seemed almost like the facility might be haunted or something.
So first off, you got Danny.
She's essentially the main character of the movie. It's kind of like we see in the movie through her eyes. Tragedy kind of ensues. Ends her up in this facility, essentially homeless.
A disaster strikes, it wipes out her village, and she's the only survivor. First, we don't really know what her power is. As the movie progresses, we slowly kind of see. Being that she's the newest one in the facility, she has the least control of her powers. She's kind of standoffish, unsure of herself, not really confident. Not only in her powers, but her as a person.
The next character we got is Rain. She's kind of like Danny's guide of the facility. She's the person that befriends Danny. She's kind of having a rough time, so I think Rain kind of extending her hand to her is helping her get through not only the trauma that she's experienced, but also acclimated to the facility in itself. She clearly has some trauma as well, as most of these kids seem to have.
These kids are messed up.
Yeah.
Ileana is kind of... I guess a bitch, for lack of better terms. She's pretty chill with everybody else, but when it comes to welcoming Danny, the new girl, she's kind of a bully.
I'd say she kind of standoffish to everybody, honestly. Like,
she is standoffish to everybody, but she's not a bitch to everybody.
No,
like she
that's
is
very
Danny.
true. Yeah, that's very true. She got a cold exterior, absolutely. And clearly there's some walls up, but then you get to learn more about her character and her background. And boy, oh boy, do you understand why she is that way. Should we mention, we don't want to touch too much into her background, right? With the whole thing with them.
No. Absolutely not. Okay. Just something people got to see for themselves.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, all right.
Them freaks.
Yeah. I like Ileana. To me, she had the illest power in this motherfucker. I was like, oh man, you could do that. She has a puppet throughout the whole movie. You don't quite know what's going on with it. It seemed like one of them emotional support puppet or something. Like he just there to kind of carry the heavy load of her psyche or something. But then you start to really realize that it's more to the puppet. So thought that was cool.
And you got Sam. He's kind of quiet. Trauma he experienced is he lost his father due to an unfortunate accident that occurred that he was the root of due to his explosive powers and abilities. Yeah. It said he can't get hurt while using it, but I don't know what they meant by that.
Because when we first seen him, he broke the fuck up.
Yeah.
In the cast, his eye was swole. I was like, fam. I like Sam. It's hard to not like him, but it's not much to him. And like I said, he's kind of an introvert.
I like him and Roberto's relationship.
Yeah. We got Berto.
Yeah, Roberto. Yeah. You know, for some reason, I kind of saw him as a leader of the pack. And I don't know why. He just seemed like it, even though he was the most cowardly. I liked him, man. I felt bad for him because his power caused him to also kill somebody that was very close to him because he can't quite control his ability either. He's probably the most hesitant to use his powers because he just doesn't feel comfortable doing it.
He kept being like, I'm getting too hot. I'm too hot. What, Dr. Reyes?
Dr. Reyes, who,
ain't shit.
She is the doctor in charge of this facility who's seemingly trying to help them cope with living with their powers, helping them control their powers. Her ability is she can like produce, I guess, force fields. Her force field blocks them from leaving or going any further. She seems like she's a well-intentioned person at first, but we kind of find out it's not everything is what it appears to be. Where
you just kind of felt like something wasn't right.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of them being monitored. Like you kind of see that
Yeah,
early
she
in the
constantly
movie. It's a
watching.
lot of cameras.
it wasn't like a motherly vibe.
It seemed very professional. Like she didn't get personal with them. She didn't kick it with them. If it wasn't about this medicine and about this treatment, she wasn't really with them, which is interesting because they were the only people in the facility. It was no other doctor. So you would think that for her human contact, she would be kicking it with the kids at some point.
You know, to me, this felt like a darker version of like the X-Mansion, the Xavier's mansion for X-Men.
Yeah.
And you know, they make some references to the X-Men too, which I thought was dope because this takes place in the same universe as the X-Men. And one thing that I gotta praise him for is making it more of like a horror focus. I thought that was ambitious. Some people might like that, some people won't like that about this movie, but I thought that was cool. It was something different.
And a lot of the things that these kids be experiencing, it can be scary. We talking about people that can't control godly-like powers. Kind of like they did Chronicle or Brightburn. I really enjoyed the camaraderie among the characters in this movie. I thought it was really dope. That was one of the highlights because the movie is primarily focused on them. So if they're not interesting, then the movie's not interesting.
You know what I really like too? Some of the younger folks from like movies and shows that I like in a film together.
Yeah.
Like Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones. I love her.
Me too.
Old girl that played in Split. Charlie that played in Stranger Things. Like I like all of them.
Yeah,
so
same.
It was really cool to see them all in a movie together.
Me too. I agree. How'd you feel about like the pacing?
Maybe a tad inconsistent. It was some slow parts. I personally didn't dislike it. I felt like the slower parts were kind of like more character focused. So I didn't mind it as much as I do in some movies.
What I will say is that I felt like it took a long time for them to deliver the horror element, like get to the bottom of what that was about. I feel like we never got any closer to figuring out why it was happening. It just felt like it kept happening over and over. This person would have a vision, then this person, then this person. It's like, all right, well, what are we adding new?
So you mean, so it was no variety?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, what are we adding new?
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, to help keep me intrigued as to what's going on, because I pretty much know the formula at this point. The way that they was kind of approaching some of these situations in danger was kind of hilarious to me, because they was walking around with their hands in the air like, what can we do? What can we do? I'm like, don't y'all have powers?
Yeah.
Like, what are y'all acting like me and him? Y'all have godlike abilities. There's no reason why you should be twiddling your thumbs, biting your nails like, how do we defeat the enemy? It's like, yo, how about that flame shit you can do? Did you think of that? Did you try that, sir? You be threatening people in the pool room, in the game room with your powers. So yeah, turn up, nigga.
Yeah.
Pull the Excalibur. Like, what are you fucking doing? Like, pull that bitch out. We talked about it having some production.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into what took so long for this movie to be released. I mean, obviously the latest delay would be the pandemic, but there were multiple delays before this. So I'm really curious as to why. Like, I don't know if it was just changing directors, production, or writing team, or what. But this movie just kept getting pushed back.
Yeah, it did. After a while, I mean, it felt like it wasn't going to come out.
Some people even thought after Disney bought Fox, it was going to be released on Disney Plus or something.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm glad it got released in theaters. Really curious to see how much money this movie is going to make after, you know, all the history and the current circumstances. Curious to see if they're going to make back at least their budget. So overall, I felt like it was a pretty solid movie. Definitely wouldn't say it's a must-see, but I wasn't as disappointed as I thought I might be. I'm going to give New Mutants a 7.5 out of 10. It's a solid watch, but it's nothing extraordinary.
I didn't have really any expectations for it. I did expect that it wouldn't be X-Men. I did know that. For what it was, I enjoyed it. It's a character movie, honestly. I'm going to probably give New Mutants a 7. Do you think that this is going to be like a standalone, kind of like a Rogue One, or do you think they're going to move forward with it?
Oh, I don't think anybody moving forward with anything. I feel like anything that was made under Fox, all of that shit dead, bro. Yeah. This was like the last Fox X-Men related movie. All right, y'all, that was our review for the New Mutants. I hope y'all enjoyed that. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. If y'all have any suggestions for any movies or shows or trailers that y'all like to see us review. Theaters are opening back up. You know, this was the first movie that we had the opportunity to see in theaters in a long time. So hopefully we'll have some more reviews for y'all for new movies. Quality movies.
Quality movies, not that Fatal Affair shit. We ain't doing that no more, B. If you guys have seen New Mutants, I'm curious, what did y'all think of it? Did you enjoy it? Would you like to see this progress further, or would you just think it's a good, just standalone by itself? Drop a comment below and let us know what you thought. We appreciate y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace.
Guys, we just want to thank y'all so much for the overwhelming amount of support that we've been receiving on our channel. We've reached 200 subscribers. Incredibly appreciative to you guys.
This is something that we just enjoy doing anyway, just talking about movies. We've been doing this for years. We really appreciate the support, though.
Just like I promised you guys, man, at 200 subscribers, I'm going to go ahead and get naked for y'all. So I went ahead and started the OnlyFans for you guys. All right, so that's going to be onlyfans.com/400 degrees /400 degrees, and that's 3 E's after the D. It's another nigga on there with 2 E's after his shit. So I want you to make sure you see the right D. 400 degrees, D-E-E-E grease. Well, obviously I'm joking. I'm not gonna get naked for y'all, and some of y'all nasty for typing, but we do appreciate y'all. Thank y'all very much.
Yeah, thank y'all.
We out. Just like I promised.
What's up? What you about to say, man?
I'm about to say some wild shit.
Oh,
so you gotta bear with me.
Okay, well, I'll be here.
It's all in jokes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
And just like I promised you guys, I'm not gonna be able to do this.
What you promised to who, man?
I didn't promise it.
Oh, all right.
That's funny.
All right.
Yeah. Man, and just like we have, well, not we, I want to throw you into this fuckery. And just like I promised you guys, man, once we reach 300.
What the fuck is wrong with this man? You be serious, and then you just be losing it.
I know what I'm about to say.
Oh, all right.
So that's why. Just like I promised you guys, man, once we reach 200 subscribers. And just like I promised you guys, man, at 200 subscribers, I'm gonna go ahead and get.
Oh my God, it's right there. Oh my God.
Cancel this shit. I don't know if I can do it, man. I don't think I can do it, man.
I wish I knew what you were doing.
Just like I promised you guys, man, at 200 subscribers, I'm gonna go ahead and get naked for y'all. So basically, we gonna have to edit this shit.
Fuck yeah.
All right, so that's gonna be onlyfans.com/400 degrees. All right, so that's gonna be 3.
What is this?
400 degrees. Shit. 400.
Yeah, you gotta say that shit serious.